รายการนี้เป็นรายการทั่วไปสามารถรับชมได้ทุกวัย
สวัสดีครับ Hi, you're watching Hello English, your favorite English program. I'm your host, Bukit Tairat. Now today, we will visit the Nitat Patum Thani Hall and learn all about the simple yet efficient life of the Mon community. And the Mon community is actually a huge part of the Patum Thani province. And you can learn a lot about their history right here in the Nitat Patum Thani Hall. So let's go now and learn more in English Magazine.
Today, we're taking you to Patum Thani province to learn about the simple way of life and the traditions and culture of the Mon people, which is very important in the history of Patum Thani. All this local history is on display at Nitat Patum Thani Hall.
เมื่อท่านได้เข้ามาภายในหอนิทรรศปทุมธานีท่านจะตื่นตาตื่นใจกับนิทรรศการที่จับต้องได้บอกเล่าเรื่องราวประวัติศาสตร์ความเป็นมาของจังหวัดปทุมธานีตั้งแต่ยุคชาวมอญอพยพมาตั้งถิ่นฐานไปสู่การพัฒนาทุ่งหลวงรังสิตเป็นแหล่งปลูกข้าวสำคัญของจังหวัดการพัฒนาพื้นที่จังหวัดปทุมธานีเป็นแหล่งอุตสาหกรรมที่สำคัญและแหล่งที่อยู่อาศัยแหล่งท่องเที่ยวทางวัฒนธรรมมาจนถึงยุคปัจจุบันโดยเฉพาะอย่างยิ่งท่านจะได้ทราบถึงพระมหากรุณาธิคุณของเจ้าฟ้าแห่งการศึกษาและได้รู้จักแหล่งท่องเที่ยวเรียนรู้ทางวัฒนธรรมที่สำคัญของจังหวัดปทุมธานีที่ท่านสามารถไปเยี่ยมชมได้ในโอกาสต่อไปค่ะ
ย้อนกลับไปเมื่อสมัยกรุงศรีอยุธยา
The first zone is called the town flashback. The entranceway to Nitat Patum Thani Hall takes you back to the old port town as you watch a video about this historic city on the banks of the Chao Phraya River. The next room is called the civilized town Sam Kho.Here, the exhibits tell about the identity of the Mon people, such as their ways of life, occupations, house building techniques, and the beliefs that influence their way of living. Another part is about the past of this port city and its early ceramics industry in the time before the founding of Patum Thani province.The port town was known to be influenced by the Chinese who came to trade, giving the local people the opportunity to learn about how to make ceramics. Here are the reproductions of some ceramic items showing the way of life in an old Mon village back when there was only Ban Sam Kho on both sides of the Chao Phraya River. They lived in two-story houses on stilts, always facing the east.Canopy boats were built to carry cargo, and they had canopy roofs to provide protection from sun and rain. Next, there was a model canopy boat.These were used to transport ceramic products like pots and basins, which were carried along the Chao Phraya River and its tributaries for sale along the way. This was the wisdom of the Mon people. Next, the rice town, Thanyaburi.This exhibit is a simulation of a rice paddy in the old times. Pathum Thani was known for growing rice. Much of the country's rice was produced there. There are reproductions of the early machinery used to dig the first irrigation canals. This shows how rice was grown as a major commodity as a result of the development of irrigation systems. Walk into a shipping container and learn about clean industry and the development of Bangkadi Industrial Estate and Navanakon Industrial Estate. It tells about how Pathum Thani transformed from an agricultural town into a clean industry town. This exhibit is a combination of many valuable cultures with a model Buddhist prayer hall. Inside the walls are decorated with beautiful mural paintings. It shows the close ties between the temple and the people of Pathum Thani because all their traditions and leisure activities were involved with the temple. Outside the model prayer hall building, you'll see models of traditional dress, culture, making sand jetties, the Millipede Flag Parade. Next, the Princess of Education. This exhibit is in honor of Her Royal Highness Princess Mahachakri Sirindorn. She's a great benefactress of education, promoting both classroom learning and improvement of the quality of life. She's also generously supported agriculture and the conservation of plant biodiversity. The people of Pathum Thani are very grateful for Her Royal Highness' endless generosity. The last room is Check-in at Pathum Thani. This contains a map of Pathum Thani pointing out interesting sites for tourism and learning, and the important places in Pathum Thani province.
ทุกท่านก็ได้ทราบถึงประวัติความเป็นมาของจังหวัดปทุมธานีและศิลปวัฒนธรรมอันงดงามแล้วนะคะ ขอเชิญชวนนักเรียนนิสิตนักศึกษาและประชาชนทั่วไปที่สนใจมาเยี่ยมชมหอนิทรรศปทุมธานีตั้งอยู่ที่ศาลกลางจังหวัดปทุมธานีหลังเก่าริมแม่น้ำเจ้าพระยาบรรยากาศงดงามค่ะเปิดให้บริการทุกวันจันทร์ถึงวันศุกร์ตั้งแต่เวลา 9 นาฬิกาถึง 17 นาฬิกาหอนิทรรศปทุมธานียินดีต้อนรับทุกท่านค่ะ
Wow, you know what? I had no idea that the Mon community has such a rich history with Pathum Thani province. And I live near Pathum Thani, so it's great to know. So if you get a chance to visit the Nitat Pathum Thani Hall, please do so. Up next, our guest is only 22 years old and has created his own application. Wow. So let's go to Tot and meet him in English Club.
Sawadee-krap. Hello everyone, welcome to English Club. I'm Tosatam PM Sabun. Today's guest is only 22 years old, but he already co-founded an application which can help you a lot, and it's a non-profit organization. So let's talk about this application and get to know more about our special guest. Please welcome Kun Ơi. Sawadee-krap.
สวัสดีครับ
Sawadee-krap. So before we talk about your application, can you please introduce yourself to our viewers?
Hello, my name is ธนัทเศรษฐ์ หอวัฒนพันธ์ or just เอ๋ย I just graduated from Chulalongkorn University from Faculty of Engineering, and I majored in Information and Communication Engineering.
Right, so obviously a great degree from a great university, and now we want to know, what do you currently do now that you've graduated?
Well, currently I just co-founded an application called Viabus. It's a
Right.
public transit application.
Can you talk a bit about this application and what it does?
Sure. So Viabus is a public transit application. So in this app, you'll be able to navigate through Bangkok with public transit, with buses, BTS, MRT. So you can search for all the bus stops, and you can get directions on, like, from point A to point B. You can find out which route you have to get on to get to the other point.
Right. So obviously, being a co-founder of this application, you must have many roles. What do you do in this application? What are your roles?
Well, I'm mainly the designer of Viabus, so I'm responsible for actually everything.
Everything.
About design in Viabus. So I do the branding, I do media, both print and digital. I do user interface and also user experience, which is kind of an abstract concept, but I also design that too.
Wow, so many roles. You must be very busy designing
Yes.
this application.
Of
So this is what we want to talk about. What is your inspiration in creating an application like this?
Well, for Viabus, it started in my freshman year. So when I first got to Chulalongkorn University, there was this shuttle bus running from Siam into the university.
Right.
So I'll have to take that bus every day to get to a class. But then there's actually GPS in the bus, but then there's nobody utilizing that information.
Right.
So me and my friends came up with this application called Chula Pop Bus. So it's an application that tracks the shuttle bus. So the shuttle bus nickname is Pop Bus, so
Right.
that's why we called it that. And so basically, this application tracks the bus. So on your phone, you can see where each shuttle buses are, and you can see where each route goes.
Oh, so the GPS is installed in the bus.
Yes.
That's why you can use that, right? To
Yes.
see the location of the bus.
Yep.
And it's very important as well, because sometimes if you arrive in Siam and you don't know where the bus is, you can
Yes.
know whether to take a taxi or
Yes.
a motorcycle, right?
Exactly.
So you cannot be late for class.
Yep.
And talking about that application now, you designed it for the university. And how did the university feel about Chula Pop Bus application?
Oh, they loved it because currently we have almost 100,000 downloads.
Wow.
Yeah, on both iOS and Android.
100,000.
Yes.
Wow.
Which is actually more than the number of students and staff in the university. So we found out that actually people around that area also use this application because the bus is also free for other people to use. So we actually met this lady. She's from Samyan Market.
Right.
Yeah, she told us that she's been using this application all the time because when she's bringing her items to sell at the market, she's got big bags of items,
Right.
and then she can look at this application and then see if the bus is gonna take a long time or is coming, so
Right.
she can rest first or can get ready for the bus.
Right.
Yeah, which was inspiring for us because we never thought that a lady from Samyan Market would also use our application.
So the shuttle bus doesn't just go from one point to like from Siam to Chulalongkorn. It
Yeah.
also passed many places where
Yeah.
people would go and stop there
Yes.
or get off there as well, right?
Yes.
Talking about this application now for Chulalongkorn, you did it while you were still a student.
Yes.
Did you win any awards for this application?
For this application, we didn't take it to any competition.
Right.
Yeah, but we were quite happy about it because what we didn't get a prize, but
Right.
we saw real impact in the society because every day when I go to the bus stop at Siam, I see other students using this application, which is kind of fulfilling for me because we're quite proud that something we made is useful for other people.
Absolutely, it's
Yeah.
absolutely useful. I mean, 100,000 downloads, not
Yes.
only just students, but people who use the shuttle bus to pass that area, like the lady
Yes.
you said as well.
Yeah.
Very inspiring. And talking about this application, it's a non-profit application, whether it's the Chulalongkorn Pop Bus or Via Bus.
Yes.
So what inspiration did you have at such a young age to create a non-profit application which helps society and people?
Mainly it's because we are the people who face these problems. We think that both my friends and myself
Right.
think that these problems we face with public transit or buses are things that should be solved and should be available for everyone. It should be something like a basic access. So it's something that we shouldn't charge people for because we think that gaining access to public transit is giving opportunity to people who don't have their own cars and
Right.
they can't travel around freely. So public transport enables them to travel around and get to other places.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, right, so we know about your application and your job, but changing the subject now to English because our program is about English and your English skill is very good. What can Thai people do to develop their English skills to be more like you?
Well, I mean, the best way is to practice English. I know that like in everyday life we don't have that many opportunities to use English, but then with digital media coming, I think there are many easy ways that you can practice English. Like for example, there are applications that are maybe just games that
Right.
lets you practice English. I've been actually playing another language learning app for a different language, yeah, and then which is quite useful to use the time while you wait on like the BTS or MRT because that time, instead of browsing through Facebook or Instagram, you can actually gain knowledge. Yeah, and there are many online courses that lets you speak to like real English speaking people, and then
Right.
you can actually practice using English with them.
So it links back to the digital media and the social network again about using your cell phone as a tool to learn English, right?
Yes.
More. And now, talking more about you, I heard that you also have a hobby of learning another language, right?
Yes.
So what language is that?
So I'm learning French, but I'm not going to France or anything, but it's just like a random interest because I just felt like I've been learning Thai and English for so long, but then I don't have a third language that might be beneficial for me in the future, and then I just found like this application and it's not too difficult to learn, so yeah, I've just begun to try it. Yeah.
So why do you feel that it's important to have a third language apart from just two languages, which is obviously Thai and English?
Yes. Well, mainly it's because of globalization. There's so much connection from everywhere in the world. Many companies are becoming multinational.
Right.
And we have tourists coming from all over the world to Thailand, and maybe even when we go to other countries, there are still many places that they don't speak English as well. So I think it's quite important that we look for other language to learn.
And now for our final finale, our last question. Can you give some Thai people some motivation to be a pioneer, to start something new, and don't be afraid, even though most people think that, oh, I don't want to start this, it's too hard, but you are the pioneer of this great application. Please give them some motivation right now.
Yes. Well, I think we shouldn't be afraid of challenges, but it's important to think of the goal, which is to create impact. I think it is very fulfilling and it is beneficial to everyone to create something with impact that will be able to make people's lives better.
Thank you very much for being on our show. ขอบคุณมากๆนะครับ So there you go. You've heard from a very special person of how to create something that have a positive impact. It doesn't matter what you do as long as you create a positive impact for society, and hopefully this TV program has created a positive impact for you in terms of learning English and also in terms of doing something new. But we're all out of time, so we'll see you next time. สวัสดีครับ
Wow, Kun Thanaseth is quite a genius. He is so young and already has his own application. So maybe we should all go download it. Up next in English Corner, let's see what Ajahn Pui and Ajahn Kip have for us today.
สวัสดีค่ะคุณผู้ชมคะขอต้อนรับเข้าสู่ English Corner ค่ะดิฉันปุ๋ยสิตาค่ะ
กิฟจิตตสุพางค์ค่ะคุณผู้ชมคะคำถามที่กิฟจะถามในวันนี้จริงๆไม่เหมาะกับพี่ปุ๋ยซึ่งเป็นคนที่อารมณ์ดีมากๆบางครั้งดีเกินไปค่ะเป็นเรื่องเกี่ยวกับความโกรธค่ะพี่ปุ๋ย
เมื่อกี้น้องกิฟชมหรือเปล่าคะ
ชมค่ะ
เหรอคะแต่ว่าเมื่อพูดถึงความโกรธค่ะปรับอารมณ์ไหมเราจะต้องมีการโกรธด้วยกัน3ระดับค่ะระดับที่1คือ anger ค่ะ anger นี่คือโกรธแบบหัวเสียค่ะเช่น he was shaking over with anger เขาโกรธแบบตัวสั่น
anger นี่คือโกรธหัวเสีย
ใช่ค่ะ
แล้วจากตัวอย่างก็คือโกรธจนสั่นเลยค่ะ
แบบหน้าตาจะไปอะไรเงี้ยค่ะโกรธค่ะ
แล้วระดับต่อไปเลยดีไหมคะ
ระดับที่2ค่ะคือ fury fury แปลว่าโกรธแบบเดือดดาลค่ะ
อ๋อค่ะ
โกรธแบบเดือดดาลอย่างเช่น Henry was speechless with fury ก็คือ Henry เนี่ยคือเงียบไปเลยไม่พูดอะไรอีกเลยเพราะว่าแบบโกรธแบบเดือดดาลมากคือโกรธจนพูดไม่ออกนั่นเอง
fury นี่คือโกรธแบบเดือดดาลใช่ไหมคะ
ใช่ค่ะ
ที่บอกก็คือเหมือนกับว่าเขาโกรธจนพูดไม่ออกเลยทีเดียวอ๋อแล้วมีระดับต่อไปไหมคะ
ระดับที่3ค่ะคุณผู้ชมค่ะระดับนี้จะต้องโกรธแบบบันดาลโทสะโกรธแบบทุ่มข้าวของอะไรอย่างเงี้ยออกไปข้างนอกเคยเห็นไหมคะ
เคยเห็นในละครนะคะ
ใช่ค่ะลองไหมคะ
ไม่เป็นไรค่ะขอตัวอย่างดีกว่าค่ะ
เลเวลนี้เขาเรียกว่า rage ค่ะ
ค่ะ
นะคะเลเวลนี้อย่างเช่น he stormed out the room with rage
คือเขากระแทกเท้าออกจากห้องไปอย่างควบคุมตัวไม่อยู่เลยเพราะความโกรธมาก
ถูกต้องค่ะ
คำว่า rage
ใช่ค่ะ anger fury and rage
anger นี่เบาสุดแล้ว
ใช่ค่ะ
พอ fury นี่ก็คือเดือดดาลสูงขึ้นมาอีกนิดนึงใช่ไหมคะ rage นี่คือสูงมากคุมไม่อยู่แล้วโอ้กิ๊บเพิ่งรู้นะคะเนี่ยว่าคำนามที่แปลว่าโกรธมีเยอะมากเลยหลายระดับ
กิ๊บผิดพูดเรื่องความโกรธเพราะว่ามันจะแบบทำให้เราดูไม่ค่อยดีอะค่ะ
ค่ะถ้าอย่างนั้นเราลาคุณผู้ชมไปดีไหมคะ
คุณผู้ชมเหรอคะได้ค่ะคุณผู้ชมคะฉันน้องกิ๊บแล้วก็ปุ๋ยสีตาขอลาไปก่อนนะคะพบกันใหม่คราวหน้าค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ
Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show. Unfortunately, it's all the time that we have. If you have any comments or suggestions you'd like to give us, please send it to the address on the screen. And also be sure to check out our show through any of these channels as well. I'm your host, Bukit Tairat. See you next time on Hello English. สวัสดีครับ